Did you know you can pretty much say whatever you want as long as it's in a song?
Kind of like this. No wife, happy life. No wife, happy life. She is gone.
Oh my God.
So long. No wife, happy life. Kind of like that.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Dish.
Hey y'all, it's Onika.
And JR.
And you are dishing with DaintyDysh. How you doing today, JR?
I'm all right. I'm doing all right. I'm just kicking it here with you.
Of course, as per our usual Wednesdays.
Yeah. Well, it's not really Wednesday, but
whatever, JR.
Anyway, I don't know. I'm doing all right. I started reading a new book.
Ooh, please do tell.
Policing the Black Man. I know it's one of those.
That sounds super controversial.
It's super conscious, actually.
Like it's woke.
It's definitely woke. It's who's the editor? Oh my goodness, Angela J. Davis.
Okay.
So she writes like a foreword in it, and then it's a bunch of essays from some very intelligent Black people discussing.
That sounds like it would be pretty cool.
Policing the Black Man. It's a pretty cool book. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I finished my class, my public speaking class.
Did you guys have like a graduation or anything?
No, we went out for like some drinks and had some food after. It was pretty
that's cool.
Yeah, we got certificates. I don't know.
Certificates. That's always like, yeah, you've done this.
Yeah,
here's a certificate. You've accomplished something.
Yeah. It's
certificates
cool.
Are always fun. Remember the Kumon certificates?
Oh yeah.
Those are the best.
Yeah, I have a bunch of those.
Yeah, I got a couple. A couple stored away. I think my mom has them in an album, like at the house somewhere. So
how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Just getting over a bit of a cold. But yeah, I'm doing okay. I had to call in sick for work. I don't like doing that. Like, yeah, I have to be like deathly ill to call in sick for work.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a big fan of doing that. So yeah, I was not feeling too hot this weekend. So yeah, I took some time off and now I'm here.
Yeah.
I feel much, much better.
Do you?
Yeah, I feel like I could face the day.
You could face it?
Face it.
Okay. Oh, I saw the Black Panther movie.
Ooh,
I went and
did you?
saw it. Yeah, I saw it. I had to go back to work on Friday night doing overnight. So in between, I just went and saw the movie. Just by yourself, just kicked it. I just went and said, yeah, I'm going to go see this movie.
Kicked it all on your own.
Yeah, well, it's a movie. Who was I going to talk to anyway?
That's true. I don't get why people need to go to movies in groups. You just do it by yourself.
Yeah, well, it was pretty cool. It was a good movie. The writing was really good. I'm not a Marvel guy or anything, so I don't know the relevancy in that regard, but as a movie, it was really good. The writing was crazy good. There was a lot of action. It had me interested. I might actually watch some more Marvel stuff.
See, I think I misunderstood the title of the movie. I thought it was going to be about the Black Panther movement. So there's going to be controversy around this movie related to that. But then I just completely missed the boat. And then I heard it was a Marvel movie and I just wasn't interested anymore. So.
Oh, okay. But it was a good one. I enjoyed it. It was a good movie.
Okay.
Let's see if it'll break some box office records. It probably will.
I think probably it will. Marvel movies always do well in the box office.
Yeah. So the last time we spoke, you were dating or not dating? You were trying to date.
Yeah,
so
I'm still trying.
You're still trying?
Lord. Oh, but am I trying?
So how's it going?
It's very slow.
What do you mean?
It's very. They're not sending me a lot of matches, which is either the system is broken or I'm broken. I don't know which one to believe at this point.
It is February.
I mean, yeah, Valentine's Day, which we will get to that, but Valentine's Day, I know that could be a factor. Guys don't want to like come out of their hidey holes during that period of time.
You don't need to stay home.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like, it's very slow going. But I'm very skeptical about the whole.
You're skeptical?
Skeptical. Yeah, skeptical. That's what I said. Like, I'm very skeptical about the whole process to begin with. I have my misgivings. I think I talk about it in an upcoming blog post that's going to be on onikadainty.com. Just a little plug for myself. Just plug myself on my show. Yeah, but it's not moving as fast as I thought it would, and it's not doing really great things
You wanted
for my
instant
ego.
gratification. You're
Instant gratification, exactly. Like Oragel. Like I wanted dating to be like Oragel. Instant gratification.
Oh my gosh.
So, I'm getting a little antsy and I'm just like ready to give up, but I'm going to keep going. I mean, you did pay for the full year. So I do have a little bit of time.
Let's consider it an advance.
An advance on,
on future
my love
earnings.
life. Yeah, on my future love life. But I want to talk to you about Valentine's Day.
What is that supposed
because
to mean?
I specifically remember JR saying to me, "No go on Valentine's Day. I'm staying at home." And then I try to reach you.
You're a jerk.
You're nowhere to be found. So please tell us, where were you on Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day? Well, I was on my way home and I didn't realize it was Valentine's Day because I was living my life.
Likely story.
This is what happened.
You're like, listen, take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it. I got home and a friend of mine texted me and said, "Hey, you want to go to a concert, some sort of concert?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Why the hell not?" And I get on the subway, and as I'm on the subway, there's this girl with these balloons and they're red, and I'm like, "Oh, it must be her birthday." And then I look over the other direction and I see this couple like really cozy, and she's got a flower and a box, and I'm like, did I miss something today?
Yeah. And you looked at the calendar.
And then I looked at my phone and then I see 14. I'm like, oh, today's the day.
Yeah.
Today's the day.
Yeah. It was a shit show at work that day too.
Was it?
I worked that day and people were coming in like it was a date, like it was date night at my store.
Oh yeah.
Like just wandering around,
Yeah, it was
taking photos by our display cases.
I don't know if it was because I was in a well, I wasn't really in a relationship last year, but of some sorts. But in a relationship, I've always been in one for a while. Like I didn't notice that it gets really like lovey-dovey on Valentine's Day.
Oh, it's just like blah.
Yeah, it was
like
it wasn't
totally
it wasn't blah. Like it was just
for me, I was
just more aware of it. Like I guess, and it was okay.
Yeah, because like you hate each other the other 364 days of the year, and this one day you just like glob onto each other like, I don't know, ice cream to like cookie dough. It's just ice cream to cookie dough.
Hey,
like,
but if you got the quality time and that phone call on the 14th and not the 13th or the 15th, well,
that's true. You're golden.
You're golden, right?
You're golden. Now, what was with that question at the beginning about about music that had me singing from my heart, which I think I stole Uncle D's song, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, you must have.
I must have, because only our uncle could just sing a song on the fly.
Oh, he's amazing at it. I love it.
He's the best. He's just a clown.
And
I love
sincere.
him.
No, I was out and a friend of mine, we were chatting and the topic came up of you can pretty much say whatever you want as long as it's to music. And we were just there going back and forth, and with one song that came up was Neo, Sexy Love. It's like probably like from 10 years ago. But the lyrics go, "Just one touch and I erupt like a volcano and cover her with my love."
Yeah, that's gross. That's gross.
Right?
I didn't realize it, but I'm sure I've sang to those lyrics. I've sang.
Yeah, of course you have. But I mean,
sang to those lyrics.
But over the course of the last 30, 40, 50 years, I mean,
the original Tyga, Neil Diamond.
Girl, you'll be a woman soon. Soon you'll need a man.
Wow.
Yeah, the original Tyga.
Yeah, that's some Tyga Kylie business right there. He should remix that one.
I mean, but you could also go even the bullying route, like Miss Taylor Swift. Like that. This is supposed to be reverse bullying, but I call it bullying nonetheless. One of her lyrics in one of her songs is "All you are is mean and a liar and pathetic. All alone in life and mean And mean and mean and mean and mean.
mean, 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 mean. No,
But like that's kind of like you can say whatever you want. I mean, you could be go after. I mean, try and talk to children. You could be disgusting towards your partner, or you could, be a bully. Like you could
be a bully.
I think I don't know. You can do whatever you want.
And I would consider that being a bully in that song. There's a lot of things actually that I consider bullying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being a young girl and being bullied.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't just as a young girl in elementary school. It was even parts of high school. I remember being bullied and the challenges that came with that. I was an immigrant coming into the country, and I was different. I spoke different. I didn't sound at 5 and 6 years old like I do now, Canadian. I sounded very much Guyanese, and people would make fun of my accent and the things that I wore or my weight, the way that I looked. They called me ugly. It was very challenging. And, even once I had switched schools in grade 6, I found I was kind of invisible for a little while, but every now and again you get that burst. You get one of those mean girls that would just say something that would just shatter your world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what bullying was like for me, I think. That's what bullying was like for me, I think. And I don't know, did you ever experience bullying as a kid?
Yeah, I had my tooth has this stain on it, and I used to get bullied for that. Call me CLR.
Oh no.
Yeah, calcium lime rust. Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh,
that
is so mean.
Bars though, that was fire. It was mean as
you
shit.
You can laugh at it now.
I laugh at it now, but it got to the point where I bleached my teeth when I was probably like 17. Yeah. Like to the point where it was.
You just couldn't take it anymore.
Couldn't take it anymore. As soon as I could, I did. But that was like when I was a child. That name calling happened when I was a child. Like it stopped.
It stopped, but it sticks. It sticks. I don't know. I just remember being a teenager and constantly worrying about my weight.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like just constantly worrying that I was too fat or that I was going to get fat, just based on the bullying that had happened when I was a younger child. I'm not one to glamorize my face or anything, but I was always very obsessive about my body and my weight as a young woman and even as an adult. So I can see how the stain on your tooth would just bother you to the point where you had to do something about it.
Yeah. My teeth were like bright white for like 3-4 years. It was. Do you not remember that?
Probably. I probably wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
Did I say something? Because I could be a bully sometimes.
Oh, you were my biggest bully. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but it's
No, it's okay.
Now that you brought it up, you were a bully. You were a bully about everything because it didn't even matter. Like I just
wouldn't give you an inch.
You wouldn't give me an inch, and but you kind of made me tough, and that was the reason why I was like, eventually got to the point where I'm like, these kids at school ain't nothing. They got nothing.
They got nothing on my cousin Onika.
They got nothing on Onika. Like I remember one time wanting to walk home from Pickering to Toronto because you were bullying me.
Because I was bullying you?
Yeah, I was like, I want to leave now. I don't like Onika. And I started walking down your street when you were still in Pickering, trying to go to walk back to Toronto. My mom was just like,
get back here.
What are you doing?
Get back here. I wasn't that bad.
No, you were terrible.
Was I terrible?
Oh, you were like everyone who bullied you took it out on me.
I probably did. That's probably exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Because that is a phenomenon. They call it the bully victim. I read in an article where the bully is the victim and the bully. It's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
That turns around on itself. And, it's just one of those cases where I guess with us, I did turn it around on you.
Yeah, it's cool.
I apologize.
Oh,
Muffin.
Yeah.
No, but nowadays, though, kids have to worry so much more when it comes to bullying because it's not just face-to-face anymore. It's online. and it is prevalent. And in the same article that I had mentioned earlier, they were talking about the correlation between cyberbullying, bullying in general, and depression.
Oh, okay.
They were basically saying that it, depending on the type of bullying that's happening, so it could be anything from gossip to rumors starting to personal attacks to aggressive behavior, that causes the individual being bullied to fall into a state of depression and sometimes, in some cases, anxiety over the situation. And it has long-term and long-lasting effects on that individual.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, and with cyberbullying, that's a whole new ballgame.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess, you know, in our back in our day, when if you got bullied, you moved schools, nobody knows you. I guess
you got a second chance.
You got a second chance. I don't know. I was never bullied to that point.
I moved schools and I got a second chance. I got a chance to be invisible.
Yeah.
Instead of being a target. Mm-hmm. You know, and I used that invisibility like a cloak because I saw what the kids in my elementary school did to the kids that were considered the nerds or the weirdos, that they were bullying. It was a lot of socioeconomic stuff. They were the poorer kids. Mm-hmm. You know, they didn't have the best clothes, the best shoes, et cetera, et cetera. So they were constantly being just bombarded with criticism by almost everybody. I wouldn't say myself included. I find I always defend the underdog. I've always been a defender of the underdog, but I'm sure there were times I stood by and let it happen for fear of being put in the position to be bullied myself.
Oh, absolutely. I've been there. We've all been there.
Yeah, I think we've all experienced that. But it's a new day. You can't just move schools and your footprint is erased. Mm-hmm. Now it's online. Everything anyone has ever said about you, good or bad or ugly, is right there for the world to see. People who don't even know you.
Yeah.
You know, and they're there. They can contribute to it.
That's the terrible thing about it. People that don't even know you have nothing to do with the situation, they just start chiming in.
Don't you call them trolls?
Yeah. I ended up meeting a troll.
Really?
Yeah. Well, my ex-wife's friend is a troll. I mean, one day we were.
Yeah, he looked like a troll.
Wow.
Bullying. Sorry, guys.
But it's just one of those days where it's like, yeah, I go online and I make comments and about people and I'm like, yo, that's not cool, you know, like.
No, that isn't cool.
But yeah, I don't know, like, you got to be a loser to be like, you know, going after people online. I mean, you're hiding behind. A lot of times people are hiding behind, you know, an emoji or some sort of
like
pseudonym
name.
Yeah.
Some weird name that you can't figure out who the hell they are, but they're feeling it's okay to comment on your life.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate. I mean, the internet has the power to do so much good, but it's doing so much bad to so many young people.
So what do you propose is the solution?
I mean, I know a lot of schools are creating programs around bullying. Mm-hmm. You know, Not at Our School and Welcoming Schools. I read something about that as well, you know, where they're implementing actual classes and lessons about how to treat your fellow man, which I find kind of, I can see the benefits. I could see where they're coming from and what they're trying to do. But this animal called the internet, this animal called social media, I think has outgrown the current solution.
So what about, you know, kids will be kids and, you know, that old adage?
No, I think that's damaging. I think to say kids will be kids, you know, kids aren't born mean. Like, they're not born mean. They learn it from somewhere. They learn it from either a role model at home, maybe an older brother or a sister or a parent. You know, and that's another thing with these role models that are raising these children, that are raising children to bully and in some cases children to be bullied, then, you know, that's where we need to address the issue with, yes, they spend the majority of their time with their peers and at school, But what are they seeing and what messaging are they getting when they go home?
So we're products of our environment.
I think we're definitely products of our environment. I think if someone comes from an unstable household and they're having problems at home, there's equal likely chances that they're going to either be a bully or be bullied themselves.
Really?
I believe that. I believe that because it's a mind game, really, is what bullying is. It's a mental thing. Mm-hmm. And if you're not mentally strong enough, which most young kids aren't equipped to deal with some of the things that they're going through right now. Mm-hmm. But if you're not mentally strong enough to handle that level of criticism and just verbal torture, then you crack under the pressure. And if you have a situation, let's say, life isn't going well at home, and that reverts to, again, things not going well at school, it's rife with the possibility of bullying.
Okay.
Like that person may become a bully themselves to lash out against, their fellow student because of things that are going on in their personal life, or that person might shrink into themselves and become that quote unquote strange kid or weirdo that people tend to pick on.
Well, I'm not sure if this is was bullying was related to this incident, but the recent shooting in Florida.
Yes.
Right. So I'm gonna quote the Donald right now.
Oh Lord.
Because I don't have a Twitter account, but a friend of mine recently told me that Donald Trump tweets the tweets that we see on the news or whatever that those are the best ofs, but he tweets all the time.
Does he now?
So I actually
got a very active Twitter life.
Yes, I went and took a look, and well, one of his tweets was this: so many signs that the Florida shooter was mentally disturbed, even expelled from school for bad and erratic behavior. Neighbors and classmates knew he was a big problem. Must always report such instances to authorities again and again. So that was his tweet. So he's kind of, pushing the mental disorder side for this incident. But
I don't doubt someone that kills 17 people has some kind of mental health disorder, condition, or problem. Mm-hmm. I don't doubt that. The Donald doesn't know that. He's just spouting off rhetoric and nonsense. So I hear that, this person could have some mental health issues, but I wonder, like you were saying in the just now, I wonder if there was any bullying involved, because this was a reclusive kid. This is exactly the type of kid that's targeted at school.
When you were describing earlier, some of the things that happened with bullies, that's the reason why I kind of thought of it, and I was like, oh, that sounds familiar.
And who knows, had it not been stopped, it could have been a mass murder and a suicide, because there's correlation there when it comes to things like suicidal thoughts and suicide and committing murder, because young kids are being bullied. They cannot handle the pressure. They cannot take it. I think another problem is that young kids are becoming more and more resourceful because of having access to so many things and so much information. They're
bored?
So I wouldn't even say that they're bored. And I definitely wouldn't say it's kids being kids. I would say that they're just searching for a solution to a problem that seems never ending. And some of the things that they're coming up with are causing them to be depressed and causing them to be anxious and causing them sometimes to have suicidal thoughts.
I guess we have the answers for almost everything now. So even if you want to search for something, you can go on Google. You can ask Siri, Alexa.
Yeah, but you can't ask Siri, how do I stop bullying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We know tactile things, the hard stuff, not the soft stuff. Mm-hmm. The soft stuff is still in a realm of unknowingness. Like those qualities like kindness and peace and love
But you know what's interesting? At the job that I was working at, the manager there, we ended up having a conversation at one point, and he brought up the idea that the reason why children don't have any manners is because of the way we type into Google and the way we talk to Siri and Alexa. Because when you want something in Google, you say, "How do I barbecue chicken?" You know, like there's no please, there's no
thank
there's
you.
no thank you. It's just it's very direct, and so when you ask questions to Siri, how do I get to here? Right? There's no please, there's no thank you. So I mean, we've lost our manners there. Technology has forced us to lose has forced the loss of manners from. I don't even know. I can't put those words together.
Force the loss of manners, I think is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Something like that. And that could then translate to why kids are bullying. Like if they're not being taught basic things like,
Please
as
and
I
thank
said,
you.
please and thank you, manners, kindness, respect, love, and they're being inundated with messages of hate, we're raising a crop of haters.
Yeah, I guess we are raising a crop of haters. And so what's going to happen in, 10, 15 years when these crop of haters have to go out into the workforce and have to go into, the corporate world? I mean, I know in our corporate world today, I mean, it's like for me, it feels like you're back in the playground again. I mean, there's bullies, but it's more of a top-down thing where, management bully. There's that element of fear, I guess, that's always pushed down on employees, and that's not cool because I mean it messes with your head. Because sometimes I remember being at one of my last jobs where on my way out I was having those conversations where you stop caring,
Yeah,
and you're like you're just gonna be real.
I know.
And so, but it ended up coming out where like. There was a feeling when I first got the job where it's like I felt like I was gonna get fired like every week. I felt like that,
Oh, every day,
right?
For me,
and one of my fellow coworkers, expressed the same type of view that she felt like yeah, I had that same type of feeling, when I started, and it was just that kind of bullying mentality. So I mean, is it now you have bullying when you're a child, but then now in the corporate world. There's this whole bullying mentality on the top down. So I don't know. It's you can't escape. You can't escape it.
That's what office politics is, and that's what they call nowadays corporate culture as well. It's hard to escape an established system. Like this is how organizations have been dealing with their people for years and years and years. And it usually takes some kind of a force to incite any kind of change. But you're not necessarily you're not gonna see that. Like they'll make little changes to enlist our trust in them. Mm-hmm. As management. I mean, where I work, I get incentives. I get free gifts on a regular basis.
I mean, I've worked places where, some places have, gyms inside the office. I've worked places where, they have, basketball courts. They've got whatever whatever you want. Like,
and all of that is a part of the corporate culture. But what it hides is that element of fear that you were talking about just now.
Yeah.
All the pretty glossy things that they give you, it doesn't stop that day-to-day fear that you feel in your job if you don't perform with a level of excellence, the level of excellence that they expect you to perform with. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I remember being in the corporate world, my 1 year experience in corporate Canada. I couldn't stand it. I had to go. As you said, you felt like every week you were going to get fired. I felt every time my boss came back from a trip, I was going to get fired. Mm-hmm. Until one day I finally did. And I had a real conversation with him and I told him, your corporate culture sucks. Like there may only be 3 people, including yourself in this organization, but it still needs some type of structure, some type of culture that works for everybody. And it was sorely lacking in that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. sometimes I feel corporate culture, it all depends on what position you're in the organization. Because I've been lucky enough to be in some organizations where other people feel the corporate culture is terrible, but I've been insulated because of my role and who I work for and who I work under. So sometimes I think it's just like, it relates back to the whole schoolyard bullying thing, where depending on which group you were, like you were saying earlier, like you're with, you kind of experience things in a different way. But another thing about corporate culture is when you're caught up in it, like in the day to day, you're just like, you're part of that moving engine. You're just moving with it, you know? And it's not until you take a step back or you jump out
of the machine
that you realize what you're a part of or what you've been a part of.
You take the red pill, is it? Until you take that red pill.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I remember, well, I took the red pill that day when I walked in and said, you know what? Yeah, can't do this anymore.
No, it's not for me.
It's not for me. Yeah, and everyone was like, what are you doing? Like, you're crazy for leaving. Like, no.
And your corporate culture, as you said, was different. It was a different experience based on where you were in the company.
Yeah.
Compared to what other people were experiencing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, in most of my roles, I've always been in areas where, you know, you don't really see a lot of the that backbreaking, you know, fear generating. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for authority.
Authority.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't not in the corporate world. I've seen it like when I've been at the bottom end and like at the retail level, or you know, in those minimum wage jobs where you know you're literally just a number. You're a body, and you could be substituted at any given time.
There's no security.
Well, there's no security in any corporate job. I mean, everybody's replaceable. That's the whole purpose of designing your corporation, so that anyone can be replaceable. Succession plans.
I think corporate culture lulls you into a false sense of security. I think that's what it does.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think it lulls you into a false sense of security. It makes you think that you're one big happy family, but then let downsizing time come, layoff time come. Mm-hmm. Then where's the family mentality then?
Yeah, it's every person for themselves.
Yeah, it's a bloodbath, really. So I don't know. I just feel I don't know if corporate culture can work. I don't know if it really truly exists. Like, there's good and bad in the term culture in itself. There's going to be good and there's going to be bad. Mm-hmm. But when there's more bad than good, can you call it? Can you pridefully call it your corporate culture? Like, with pride?
I don't know. It's also one of those things where there's a lot of times the people that are setting the policies and that are generating this or have this vision of the corporate culture, they're not the ones that are actually experiencing it. Because in order for the business to look the way it needs to, for them, middle management has to do whatever they need to do in leading the people underneath them to make sure the image is the way it is. It needs to be for senior management. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, senior management might want a certain image, and they might say they push that, but you know, middle management might not execute it that way.
Okay.
You know, that's just an example.
I know in some of the circumstances I've been in, because I've done corporate, I've done retail. You know, it's been a challenge to hold on to morale.
What do you mean?
Like, you want to come to your job every day with like hope and like joy. That's what ideally, if you have to work. I don't know. You want the experience to be a good one for every shift, every hour, every time, every moment you spend. You want it to be a good experience, right?
But who works because they want to work?
I would say nobody, but most people have to work. So if you have to do something, you would like the experience, is my point, to be enjoyable.
You know, I when you say that, I get what you're saying, but I mean, I had the opportunity to work with a Chinese exchange student And you know, she when she came over here, she said, "Oh my gosh, this is so nice. It's so easy here. You guys are so relaxed. Like nobody's working that hard, you know." And it's like, but everyone here was like, "Wait, no, we're crazy. We're working hard. We're working hard." And she's like, "No, man, you guys haven't been to China, you know? You know, no, this is not hard work. Like you guys take breaks. You go to the coffee room and have a coffee. Like this is not hard. You're not working hard, you know." So there's give and take. There's perspective. I mean, there's perception as well.
I don't know. I feel like certain cultures don't build a environment where you can at least somewhat enjoy what you're doing. Like,
but who says you have to enjoy what you're doing?
I mean, if you're doing it, one would hope you somewhat enjoy it.
Yeah, but
like I enjoy for the most part. I enjoy my job.
I don't know. Like over the years, I've started to meet people that are in their jobs. They don't actually like their jobs. They're only there because for the money,
for the paycheck,
Like that's
and
it.
I'm sure I'll become one of those jaded people at some point in the future. I'll be the same, but for now, I'm new. You know, I'm very fresh in the role, so I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I enjoy the perks of the job and the people that I work with. That hasn't really, you know, there hasn't been really any conflict there, so the corporate culture seems to be okay right now because I'm lulled. As I said, I'm being lulled right now. But who really knows what the corporate culture is, what lies beneath? And that's what I'm waiting to find out. Can I work with that situation?
I don't know. I think I found my equilibrium, like when it comes to corporate culture, like, you know, being a contractor, like that's like,
it's a great idea.
It's my thing. I mean, you go in, there's a specific period of time I'm there for, and when I'm done, I'm done. I'll move on to the next. You know, that way I don't have to. I'm there for my abilities, how good my skills are. I'm not there to, you know.
You're on the periphery.
Yeah.
You're on the periphery. Final dish, corporate culture. I don't really know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, if it exists or if it doesn't. But I do know bullying exists. That's real. And it's becoming an epidemic in our schools, amongst our adolescents, and it's not a good thing. We've got to do something to make a difference. We've got to do something to change people, because these young people, mentally, they're not able to handle the pressure, and we need to be there for them. And with that said, that is the dish of the day. I hope you guys write in. Let us know your thoughts, how you feel, and JR, let them know how they can reach us.
You can reach us at Dysh, DYSH, at DaintyDysh.com, DaintyDysh.com. You can check out Onika on Instagram at Best of Onika. You can also check me out on Instagram, Best of JR. Onika, what's going on OnikaDainty.com?
A little bit of poetry, some stuff on love for the month of February, and some really personal journal entries. So read on. Keep calm and read on.
Yeah. And thank you for listening. Please subscribe on YouTube or Apple Podcasts.
Give us a 5. We deserve a 5.
Rate us a 5. Give us a like on YouTube. Yeah, listen to us. Please. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
And again, as I always say, have a happy, happy hump day, guys.